Hello colleagues. As you already know, I am a fan of launching projects and not finishing them. On the one hand, I get new expertise and test hypotheses, and on the other hand, I simply close projects, because I don't allocate any impressive money for marketing. One of these projects was a project of recommendations based on Google Analytics and other services, including possible connections via API to the CRM systems themselves. For example, users receive notifications when the bounce rate for certain products increases, which products become more interested or do not have enough information to display, which products are out of stock, but continue to show ads, and the like. Modern development tools allow you to make powerful interaction functions between services. In my opinion, this should be a service that gives 1 to 2 new subscription tips in 1 to 2 days, and the client has a counterbalance in their activities. That is, these recommendations allow you to reasonably and constructively discuss issues with client employees. Advice may not necessarily be good, but the purpose of such information is a notification to the manager, which should not take more than 10 minutes to get acquainted with. That is, not a direct call to action, but a call to think about whether there is some kind of problem in this place of business. In general, as you already understood, the service did not work. Today is a little about something else. The very model of recommendations to the user is something that is missing in many services, and I am sure that these recommendations will become an essential function of many modern projects. That is, the task of the service is not just to show the information as it is, but also to give different recommendations on what the client should do with this information. That is why when I saw the Humantic AI project, he won me over with his magic of recommendations, as he wrote above. Recommendations cannot be 100% objective, but they are always a stepping stone for the next stage of activity. Any recommendations are given based on some analytical data. In this project, such data is the user's psychological project on LinkedIn. Not sure if the information is taken only from LinkedIn or from somewhere else. I'll leave an explanation of how this magic works to the company's managers. But the result that they give looks interesting. DISC, dominance, influence, stability, compliance, a group of psychological descriptions based on the works of psychologist William Marston. If you do not delve into the theory, then each person has 1 to 2 characteristics of this model for assessing the psychological description of a person. It is generally accepted that successful companies can be successful in which all 4 characteristics of this model are present and balanced. That is, these are different people, in which the corresponding descriptions dominate in different ways. This is not the only model based on the 4 kinds of characteristics, even some vulgar models were called to me. But to visualize what is at stake, imagine any cartoon in which there are 4 heroes, and such cartoons about teamwork with 4 heroes are the majority. Previously, you probably didn't think why there were 4 of these heroes, but now you know that it's all about DISC. So here is a Humantic.io, based on magic unknown to me. It shows a certain score for each characteristic. Each vacancy can also have its own dominant characteristic, so yes, this can help a lot when looking for a job seeker. I know from my own experience that it's not easy to evaluate a person according to the DISC model. For example, I still can't figure out myself as an introvert or an extrovert. So you don't need to count on a 100 accurate result, but an additional counterbalance in making decisions will not hurt. O.C.E.A.N model: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. I didn't come across this particular model, but judging by the characteristics, it also allows you to assess how suitable a person is for your job or your offer. But the magic does not end with this psychological assessment, all these models so that you can assess the personality of the person with whom you are going to communicate. The magic begins with recommendations on how you should communicate with this person, whether you should use a formal or informal style of communication, the tone of communication, and the like. That is, you are provided with descriptions, tips, and examples of communication with this person. You can see an example of evaluating one of the LinkedIn profiles. Well, the most interesting thing is that a similar result can be pulled by API for any of your own projects, and, at the same time, there are distinctions between these recommendations, depending on whether you are going to hire a person or sell something to him. Yes, this project is probably not for small businesses. These recommendations may seem stereotyped over time, and there will be an understanding based on what data these recommendations are issued. But I think the conceptual solutions of this project will be useful to you. At least the disk and ocean models are worth learning more about. Write in the comments if you want to know more. Peace.